Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Danielle and today I'm going to be sharing a flip through of my reading journal. So for this video, I'm going to be showing you a flip through of my 2023 completed journal, as well as all of the spreads that I've already set up for my 2024 journal. And then in case you were wondering, this is actually an Archer and Olive A5 size dot journal. I've had this for a couple years now, and I'll probably have it for one more year. So this one has the wand on the cover. I thought it was fitting to be my reading journal since I love fantasy and all things magical. So let's get right on into it, and the first page that I'm going to flip to is going to be my 2023 cover page. And here we have it. I just laid it out with some washi tape and the year, and then I had gotten these from an Acrylicograph box. They're the clear stamp set that you put on those acrylic bricks and stamp it right on. I really love them, and I was super excited to get that in a Acrylicograph box. Next up, we go right on into it, and I have my reading tracker. In 2023, I managed to read every single day of the year, and I'm really proud of that. I've set my tracker up like this for a few years now, and I think I'm going to continue on with that. I really like the style of it, and it fits what I need. Next up, we have my Reading at a Glance page and my Book Box Books page. For the Reading at a Glance, I wanted to track what type of reading I was doing, if I was doing an ebook, physical, or audiobook. Some days I did all three, a couple days I only did one, but it's really nice to see everything filled in. And then for my book box page, I set a goal for myself to read 24 book box books over the year. Since I'm paying for them, I actually want to get my money's worth, so these were all of the books that I was able to read last year. I am setting up the same one for this year as well. So next up, I have my A to Z and Buzzwordathon pages. For A to Z, I wanted to read a book starting with every single letter of the alphabet, and I did manage to do it. Granted, I got Z right at the end of the year, but I still managed to do it, so I'm really happy with how that turned out. For the Buzzwordathon page, I participate in the Buzzwordathon that's put on by Books and Lala. I actually really love this challenge. I am doing it again this year, but I was able to finish it last year, and these are all of the books that go with those prompts. And then next up, we have January. This is kind of really where I have fun with it. I change up the months every single time. So this month we have a pinkish color, and I really liked it. Then in February, I went purple. We've got moons and different little purple flowers and some butterflies, and I really liked how February's turned out. Then we have March. March, I went really greens and blues, and again, I just really love how every one of these months turned out. And I'm doing the same exact style for this year, and you'll see that in my flip through a little bit later. Then we have April. I'm very much a flower girl and like a pink and purple girl, so you'll see that throughout the rest of the book as well. Then we go to May, and May was a really heavy reading month for me. I read 42 books, and I almost didn't have enough room to fit them all. And then next up, we have June. Again, flowers, butterflies, pinks, definitely a favorite of mine. Then we get to July. Kind of wanted to do the red and blue for the 4th of July, and I kind of brought that in. You can see some blue flowers there. We've got the red, and then obviously the red and blue with all the writing there. And then next up is going to be August. August is one of my favorites. I really like the color palette, and I just really like how it turned out. Then next up we have September, where I went for a more like rustic pine tree, pine cone look. I didn't really read as much in September, so it doesn't look as filled in as some of the others, but that's okay. Then we flip through to October, And I am a huge fan of pumpkins and fall and leaves and everything like that. You'll see in November's that I really went for the leaf theme, but in October we went pumpkins and gourds, and I'm really happy with how this one turned out. In November, this is where I really went for the leaf theme. We've got these sparkly gold flecked leaves, and I just really love the orangey color palette. Then lastly, for the months, we have December, and I wanted to go kind of Christmassy, but I didn't want to do red and green, so I went with like blue. We've got some Christmas stockings, we've got some baking things. I do love to bake in the winters, so this was a really fun way to incorporate that into my reading journal. And then since the months are over, we get into the end of the year stuff. So for this, we have my best books bracket. So you can see that Fourth Wing was my best book of the year, and I absolutely loved it. If you were to look on my Instagram, I have tons of Fourth Wing stuff, and I definitely am going to be sharing a lot of that book this year as well. Next up, we have the one page that actually is completely blank right now. I was going to end up blurring it out anyway because this page is mostly for me. I want to write some of my thoughts and feelings about each of the top 5 books of the year for me. So I figured actually I just wouldn't fill it in until after I film this. But these are my top 5 books of the year. And then next, we have my final stats of 23. This page, I really like how it turned out. It was my first year doing a final stats, and I'm surprised I managed to fit everything I wanted into it so perfectly. Some of the really important ones though are I read 321 books, I read around 68,000 pages, I did read every single day of the year, and I also had 43 5-star reads. Some of those include rereads, but only 7 of those were rereads, so I think that's a really good number. But that was it for 2023, so now I'm going to go on to my blank 2024 spreads. First up, we have my cover page. Kind of reminiscent of last year's page, but I made it a little bit different. I still put on the stamps from Illumicrate, and I just cut out some really big numbers, and I really like how it came out this year. You'll see that I kind of go with the red and blue theme, and I just wanted everything to look cohesive this year. Next up, we get my reading tracker, and like I said, it looks pretty much the same as last year's. Nothing's filled in yet, but I really like how it came out. Then we have my reading at a glance page and my book box books. So I still have the same goal for the book box books this year. I want to read 24. I have actually read 1 already so far, and after I finish filming this, I'm going to add that right into that first box. I'm excited to be able to fill it in. And then for my reading at a glance page, this actually is set up slightly different than it was last year. I doubled up on the spaces because I found last year certain days I was reading ebooks, physical, and audio, and there just wasn't enough room to really fill in the colors like I wanted. So I figured if I had 2 boxes for each day this year, then that would be a little bit easier and I would be able to split things a little bit better. And then next up, we have my A to Z and Buzzwordathon. So pretty much the same. New Buzzwordathons for this year. I'm really excited and I can't wait to get going with that. January's is the only one that I have set up for this year. I did leave everything else blank, just ready to be filled in. So we're just going to flip through those quickly and get to the rest of the book. So that'll be December's, and then we have my 2024 best books of each month, which I won't be able to fill in until we get a little bit more into the year, but that's okay. And then we have my top 5 of 2024. And then we just have the final stats page. I think I'm going to do some other stats this year, so I didn't want to add anything into it yet. So we'll see when it comes to the end of the year what else I need to fit in there. But that was it for my reading journal. I'm so excited that I got to show this off to you. I can't wait to start filling in my journal, and I'm excited for a new, fresh start to 2024. This will probably be my only reading journal video until next year, so happy journaling, and I'll see you then.